choices that I made. When I got locked up, Scipio, stand up. When I got locked up, Scipio was 2 years old. When I got locked up, he was 2 years old, really 18 months old. Christian, stand up. When I got locked up, he wasn't even born. He was conceived while I was in jail. Because even though I was in jail, I still had money, I still had influence, and I was able to actually leave out. I was at the federal penitentiary in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was able to leave out at nighttime. And his mother got pregnant while I was in jail. Y'all can sit down, thank you. So I get out of prison, and when I get out of prison, I'm still angry, I'm still mad. I'm mad at God, I'm mad at the world, I'm mad at my daddy, I'm mad at my pastor, I'm mad at everybody. And so when I get out of prison, I'm still making bad choices and I'm making bad decisions, and I don't care about anybody, I don't care about anything. So when I got out of jail, it seemed after spending 5 years in federal penitentiary that I would change. But when I got out of jail, I had so much rage and so much anger, I didn't care about anybody. I was mad at myself because I had screwed up my life. I was mad at myself because I had hurt my mother. I was mad at myself because I let down my children. I was mad at myself, and I was walking around reckless, and I was doing everything, and my life was headed down the road, and I was on my way, not to jail, but I was on my way to hell because of the choices and the decisions that I continue to make. Want me to tell you what happened? I didn't care about myself. But for me, what woke me up was when my cousin got killed. I had a cousin that got shot and killed for no reason, over $100. He got shot 6 times and died. And it was at that moment where the light bulb went off in my head. And I was able to say to myself, you know what? This life that I'm living is not worth it. These choices and these bad decisions that I continue to make, I can't continue to make these choices and these bad decisions. So I made a choice that I wanted to do something to get my life back together. I wanted to do something to make sense of my life. I wanted to do something. I wanted to do something. I wanted to go back and being the real person, not the person who I had become, not the person who I created, but the real me. Because sometimes when you try to be accepted by other people, you will become somebody else so everybody else can like you. Anybody ever done that before? Have you ever compromised? Have you ever did something that you know you had no business doing, but the only reason you did it so you could be accepted by your friends, or so somebody else could look up to you, and so you could be in with the cool crowd? Some of y'all right now, one of your biggest struggles that you deal with right now is trying to be accepted by other people that may think that you're lame. So I had to make a choice whether I wanted to continue to be the man that I had become, or do I want to become the man that I was born to be, the man that I was raised to be. So I made a decision, and in that decision, I said, Lord, I give you my life. Lord, if you would take away the old me, if you would take away the drugs, if you would take away the addiction to the drugs, if you would take away the addiction to money, if you can do something in my life, Lord, here I am. So I made a decision to say, Lord, I'm ready to walk away from everything that's keeping me outside of the will of God for my life. Everybody say, life is about the decisions that you make. I can't blame anybody else for the decisions that I made. You as youth, in your teen years, you can't blame your mom, your dad, or what didn't happen in your life, or who wasn't there in your life. You can't blame society. You can't blame the fact that you grew up in a bad situation, because just because you may have grew up in a bad situation does not give you the justification to make bad choices and bad decisions in your life. You are responsible for your future. But the decisions that you make in your today will affect you in your tomorrow. And I'm trying to tell some of y'all right now, listen, if you make the right decisions today, it will ensure that you will have a successful tomorrow. And you don't have to go to prison. You don't have to use drugs. You don't have to almost get killed because people wanted to take you out. You don't have to experience some of the bad things that, look at all these adults that are here. All these adults are here because we have experienced some bad things in our life, and we do not want you guys to go through what we went through. Some of you that are in here now, all you fellas, I want you to stand up. All you fellas, stand up, stand up, please. We think that we're hard and we think that we're macho, but when we end up in prison, you're not so hard anymore. Because when you go to jail, guess what? Mom and daddy can't do nothing for you. You by yourself. I spent 5 years in prison, and there's not one day that I was there that I didn't wish that I was home. But I made the decision that caused me to go. When you see me, he read my bio. I'm a pastor, I'm a bishop, I'm a pastor of a church, I'm a presiding bishop of a fellowship. You just see that's the now. But it took a lot to get there. But what if I never made those choices and decisions that I made when I was your age? Maybe I would have gotten there 10 years ago. What do you want out of your life? What do you want out of your life? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? What type of man do you want to be? What type of father do you want to be? What type of father? What type of role model? Because you are the one that's in control of your life. You're in control of your destiny. You're in control of your future. But you have to understand that the control that you have is only by the choices. Everybody say choices. The choices that you make keep you in control. Your choices and your decisions keep you in control of your life. Not your mama choices, not your daddy choices, not your daddy decisions, not your mama decisions, but your choices. Because oftentimes the life and death decisions and choices that we have to make, mama and daddy are never around when we have to make those choices. Life is what you make it. Everybody say it. Life is what you make it. My goddaughters are here. Ebony, Lark, y'all stand up. All the other ladies that are here, all the youth, I want y'all to stand up. Stand up for me. What choices are you going to make? How old are you? You're 13. How old are you? 15. How old are you? 11. How old are you? How old are you? Okay, now, I want you to raise your hand if you know somebody that's pregnant. Raise your hand high so they can see. You know somebody that's pregnant, that's young. Guess what? Guess what? How did they get pregnant? By a choice that they made. They got pregnant because they made a choice. And I want to say something to y'all. You have to understand that you are in control of your body, and you don't have to give your body to anybody, because a man or a boy that really loves you enough to wait. And y'all have to understand that as young ladies, that you are precious, and the worth and the value that you have for somebody. Don't give yourself to anybody. Don't make the mistake that I made because I wanted to be cool and I lost my virginity, and everybody else had already lost their virginity, and I felt like I was the last person on the earth that was a virgin. And I thought it was a bad thing, but it wasn't a bad thing, it was a good thing. It was a good thing because now, in this generation, you not only have to worry about getting pregnant or getting somebody pregnant, but you have to worry about getting disease. You have to worry about getting a disease. And this is real life. But guess what? If you make the right choices, you put yourself in a position where you don't have to go through some of the things that we went through. Guess what? It's some adults in here that have caught diseases because they've had sex. They may not tell you that. They may not admit to it. But they've caught diseases because they've had sex. And just like y'all know friends that are pregnant right now because of the choices and bad decisions that they made, don't let it be me. Don't let it be you. Say it to myself. Say it to yourself. Say, in this season of my life, I'm going to make the right choices and the right decisions in my life so that the mistake will not be me. Thank you, y'all. Sit down. Before I conclude, I want to encourage y'all that are youth, because y'all have to understand that y'all are our future. But if you don't make good choices and good decisions, our future is in trouble. And guess what? It doesn't have to start with a whole bunch of people. It doesn't have to be a packed auditorium. It's enough of y'all in here to make a difference. How many of you make A's in school? All A's. Stand up. All A's. All A's in school. How many of you plan on going to college? How many of you want to go to college? Stand up. You want to go to college? How many of you want your own business? Want to be a doctor? Want to be a lawyer? Want to be rich? Want to have money? Want to be able to pay your bills? Want to be able to live in a nice house? Raise your hand if that's you. What choices and decisions are you going to make so that you can have, everybody say this word, success? Success. Learn from the mistakes that we made. Someone just came in, I grew up with. She was one of my best friends in school, junior high. We were close. We were super close. Her name is Consuelo Ballinger. And if she was here when I was giving my testimony, she can testify of how much of a nerd I was. Am I lying to you? She was a nerd too, but she can testify. I lost my virginity when I was 16 years old. And Dee Dee, am I lying? Did you not witness me change from one person to a whole different person that you can't identify with when he was 11 years old? Oh, definitely. If you make bad decisions and bad choices, it will change who you are in your life. It will change your identity. And guess what? Everybody does not have a happy ending like I did. Everybody don't get an opportunity where they can surrender it all to the Lord and God will raise them up and God will clean them up and God will help fix their life and they're able to become a pastor, become a bishop. Some people's story is they end up in prison for life. Some people's story is they end up on drugs and never get off drugs. Some people's story is they get killed. But everything that happened, regardless if the story is good or bad, happy or sad, it's all about the choices and the decisions that you make. And you're in control of your choices and your decisions. God bless you all.
One more round, Bishop Phelps. And that was inspiring me. One more round. Young folks, like you said, once you do that, once you make adult decisions, you can't go back to being a child. It's a wrap. Let me ask y'all a question. All my young people. What do you consider to be an adult? How old are you?